For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
A member of the clergy warns against gangster politics. Do we have any safe or sure seats in St. Lucia? And does anyone have any plans for a particular Calypsonian? Jack asking the question. Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. We conclude at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and you'll be part of the conversation by calling 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026, and Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. A member of the clergy is warning against gangster politics. What is he talking about there? Well, what he's saying is there are instances when this is manifesting itself through the actions of powerful individuals or individuals who believe they are powerful, and also in terms of the geopolitics, countries practicing hegemony, wielding their power against other countries that are deemed to be a lot weaker than themselves. And he's warning vehemently against this and urging Christians in the face of such actions not to be complacent and also not to be silent. And we see this manifesting itself right here in St. Lucia at the local level and indeed on the international stage. Because very often people believe that because they wield power, because they have more resources than others, because they are prominent in a society, and because they have leverage, they can use that leverage even if it is not the right thing to do. Even if morally this is something in most jurisdictions, in most countries, most environments will be frowned upon. They don't care about that because they have their own way of doing things that they believe is justified. So to hell with what onlookers are saying and they believe and how they would construe a particular action. I mean, take for example, Donald Trump. Does he care about what the rest of the world believes as far as the type of governance that he is dispensing at this point in time? His treatment of Ukraine in favor of Russia. And on the political front, you know how politicians, while in the hustings, very humble, very accommodating, they invest a lot of their time and resources in the various constituencies. They campaign and they make promises. A lot of those promises not so realistic. They get into office and they forget that they are the people's servants and not their masters. So let us hear from Senior Reverend Canon Dr. John A. Rogers. He is an independent senator in Barbados and also a cleric.
Christians throughout the world must stand up now even more than perhaps we have in our lifetimes within the last few decades. Because what we're beginning to witness in our world is gangster politics. Gangster democracy, if there's such a thing. Where people believe that might is right, and because I have the might, I can tell you what I want and I can do what I want. That is the world to which Jesus came. And he stood up defiantly against it. We must stand up against it. We must stand up against this era of gangster politics in our world, where people feel that because I have something that you want, or they perceive that they have something that you want, they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. And they can do whatever they want to do to you. As Barbadians, as a Christian society, we must stand up to that.
I just heard and saw Senior Reverend Canon Dr. John A. Rogers, also an independent senator over in Barbados. Now, both political parties in St. Lucia, they are hungry to be at the helm of the island's government. And a lot of the politicians, of course, first to win their seat and then to hold ministerial positions. It is on the basis of wanting to serve the people, wanting to improve their lives. Basic areas: shelter, food, clothing. And at a broader level, you want to ensure that the people are safe. So this nuisance that we continue to experience at this time, the nation's crime problem, it is just about at the top of the list at this time. And I think it would have been at the top of the list in the run-up to the 2006 general election and subsequent polls. Healthcare remains an issue. Unemployment still a problem in our country. The high cost of living, can't doubt that. Whether it is inflation that is imported or locally grown, manifesting itself, of course, as a result of the 2.5% health and security levy, compounded tax. So politicians are coming to you. Those who were in the hustings in the run-up to the last general election, who won their seat on the basis of fighting corruption, no evidence of that, on the basis of addressing crime, you know the answer to that? health care, you just have to make reference to the press release that was issued by the St. Lucian Medical and Dental Association a few months ago, among other problems. So do we believe that we must just on a whim elect somebody into office to preside over a constituency and eventually the country on the basis of promises, in most instances that they have not been able to keep? And a politician, you'll hear from him, no, not from him, but from her in just a moment. She is warning against this practice of politicians and political parties wanting to win a general election and not being prepared to govern, not hitting the ground running. And this time around, we certainly cannot accuse U.S. President Donald Trump of being unprepared. Whether that level of preparedness is to do good or evil, he comes across this time around not only determined to fulfill campaign promises, but he comes across as being a bit more equipped than he was in 2020. And so the political leader of the new National Party of Grenada, Emmeline Pierre, addressing the annual convention of the United Workers' Party, saying it's not just winning, it is all about governing.
Brothers and sisters, St. Lucia, like many other Caribbean nations, is facing some significant challenges. The healthcare system needs strengthening to meet the needs of every citizen. Cost of living is rising, affecting families across our countries. Crime and violence remain serious concern wherever you go. Economic challenges pressure individuals and businesses and pose a serious threat to the sustainable development of St. Lucia, Grenada, and other Caribbean islands. Gender-based violence continues to be an issue that demands attention, and not just attention, urgent attention. Brothers and sisters, I say to you this evening, these challenges require strong leadership, or they will only get worse. They require leadership that is ready and able to confront the challenges and effect positive change. I urge you, therefore, to focus on strengthening and building the capacity within your party. Build alliances and develop strategies necessary to effect the changes that you want to see. Develop and organize the various arms of your party through training and shared experiences, ensuring that the election machinery is always ready, always sufficiently oiled to not just win an election, but to govern St. Lucia. Too many political parties are focused just on winning elections. Then they create a mess for another party to clean up. Preparing to win election is critical, but being ready to govern the country is even more important. That is why I beg your support for your dear leader as he selects the right team, not just for winning, but for governing the country.
You just heard and saw the political leader of the opposition New National Party of Grenada, Emmeline Pierre. Let's open the line to take your calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Once again, 716-2026. 2026. There are occasions when, during the reign of this current administration, I felt that the nation was rudderless, was without the proper leadership. Now, in this neck of the wood, you say certain things, and people want to castigate you, they want to vilify you. But the last time I checked, we are still in a democracy. So let me try to back up what I just said there. You remember when the people of Year 4 South were held hostage over several months, and most of us ensconced in the north of the island, we're feeling safe, going about our business, etc. We have friends and relatives in the south, and we're already bothered by what was happening there, but we could not do anything about it. We felt helpless, and we cannot imagine what the residents of Year 4 South went through. They were there like sitting ducks, waiting to be shot and killed, waiting to be injured. And they received a little reprieve. They received no protection at all. I can't even say a little protection. No protection at all. So the government failed those people in the south of the island while they were going through this terrible, this hideous experience. And that's not what leadership and governance is about. There are a number of other areas, including healthcare, where the government failed the people miserably. So it's not all about winning a general election. Winning 13 seats, then you went into some complot with the two so-called independent MPs, so that's 15, and then the opposition at only 2 seats. And you felt comfortable in your victory. Impressive victory. But that level of victory, you think it has been commensurate with your performance as a government because you had more men and women on deck. Did that manifest itself in improving the lives of the people of St. Lucia? 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let's see if you have a call in the landline. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Timothy.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon. You said something, I think it was yesterday. Now, I tried my best to get the line, and I know your line has been very busy. Now, I cannot blame you for that. But let me just take you to task there for a minute. If I could remember what you said. You mentioned about the seats of Labrie.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very slim. It's not a slim seat. It's not easy to win, sorry.
Yeah.
Based on your assertion. Now, I don't know what you conduct in that area to find out that seat cannot be pulled out. Now, let me just say that for a minute. You see that thing of short seat. Short seat, I never believe in short seat. Because if there was a time I could have believed in short seat when Sir John was representing Nico South, I probably would have said yes. But despite of what the United Workers' Party did the last election, including seat we would never expect to go to the Labour Party, me could not particular. When it was 16-1, we could not hold on to the United Workers' Party. That seat was able to win by almost somebody that was not the best of favorite. So this, and to me, Labrie had never have what we call a good candidate.
For the United Workers' Party?
Exactly.
No, I just want to understand what you're saying.
What you say there?
I just want to understand what exactly you're saying.
I will say Labrie had never had, apart from that guy, Centeni, whatever his name was.
Dr. Centeni?
Yeah, after him, Labrie had never had what we call a credible candidate to take on Alva Baptiste there in Labrie. So this time around, you have a young potential.
So what you had before that was people serving as sacrificial lambs?
I will definitely agree with you. You said it for me. Call it the lesser to evil. You know, Labrie had never had a credible candidate to do battle with Mr. Baptiste. So he played macho by calling the Republic and this and that. But this time around, like I was saying before, that Labrie had a very potential and a credible young lady that is very bright and that is in touch. Now you wouldn't want to ask me how I know that. That is in touch with the people of Labrie. And I cannot believe you, or I will not accept you to tell me that the member for Labrie cannot lose the election.
No, what I said that it is very unlikely that Mrs. Noel will win the seat. So the fact I'm saying it's very unlikely does not mean that there's a chance, there's a possibility that she cannot win. She can win. There's a possibility, but for now it appears very unlikely.
Okay, now I just wanted to correct that because there are persons who might not, the way you explain it, they believe, well, just forget about it and blah, 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 and let's move on. It is just like Beaufort North. Beaufort North had good candidate before, prior to Vincent London. But they did very well, but they had not, well, prior to Nancy Charles, well, we know what it was, you know. But if you get the correct candidate in place, especially not just being on radio, but that is on the ground, do the various work they have to do, talking to the youth, because we had a lot of swing voters the last election, you know, Tim. Lots of new kids on the block swing voters. Right now, the people of St. does not care whether you create this or you create that. They just don't care. It's almost like a barbecue or chicken and rum thing. You meet them, you give them a certain tip, the last moment for election, boom, they swing, they change. You understand what I'm saying? So never doubt this. Like in Micoud South, where I'm calling there right now. Well, we know very well Alan Chastney have had 2 consecutive, win in that constituency, although the 2021 was a little different in terms of the margin. But those 2 constituencies between Micoud South and Beaufort, and Micoud North, they were never known to be a traditional Labour Party. And every time Labour Party gets into the aim of winning those seats are mistakes. Mistakes that making Labour Party win those 2 seats. 1997, we know what it was for her in Micoud South. Cassius Elias won that seat for the Labour Party. Between the confusion between Haraxin and Asinjim, blah, 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 in the end, Cassius Elias won. Micoud North, allegedly, true or false, she did very well, but then certain rumors or whatever circulating, even Flabo people turn to that, and this guy gets impulsive vote because of this accident and blah, blah, blah. So never believe, we must never put that in the mind of St. Lucian, where somebody have been dominating in Labrie and Beaufort South and Beaufort North, and to the extent where other change, those persons that have been continuing in there, what can they show? What can they show, Mr. Poleon, for the 15 to 20 to 30 years of the leadership? Nothing to show. So the people now, it appears to me, may be loyal to party because whether they work or they do anything, they don't, it's a just I don't care thing. So we now are the one to educate the youth and explain to the, and while I'm there, let me just congratulate those new candidates that the UWP showed this last Sunday. And I like what I'm seeing. Young people, when you speak to them, and I know they will appear on your program, they speak very well. They have good ambition, good intention, to work with the youth, to help the cry of our youth. Never forget, our young people are begging for a soulagement. They cannot get it. So my heart goes to those new candidates, and I'm still expecting to see new kids, young candidates, fresh idea that have never been in any problem before, and introduce those young people to the people of St. Lucia, including to you as a journalist, because you said you would want to interview every candidate, both left and right. That's what you said the last time. So I am expecting you to have a good time with them. And let me tell the people of St. Lucia once again, stop crying about change. Right now, the ball is in your court. Are you prepared to say for 2.5% with crime you cannot open your house during daytime, or you want to go to a party that will make sure to put you, not just that first they have the so-called first, but make sure every citizens of young people in St. Lucia have a life in this country. I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, safe seats exist only in the minds of unstudied political strategists. Another call on the line. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You on the air?
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Good. And good afternoon to your...
Amanda, the chat room reporter.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon, caller.
How are you doing? Lovely voice, Amanda. Tim, I've got a challenge for Mr. Stephenson King. I would like Mr. Stephenson King to come down to Cul-de-sac, meet me at the end of the bridge, not the beginning, at the end of the bridge that's between Marcy and CPJ. And I would like Mr. King to do a cry walk from that bridge to the West Coast Road. A cry walk, I call it. Because this is what is happening. I am from Mr. Stephenson King constituents, and I'm thinking twice of voting this year. Reason for that: this is an area I use frequently. I commute every day. And it is a shame that this road cannot reach to a point where that vehiculars, commuters, road users on the whole cannot use that road as they need to. Also, it seems like C. William has gone on strike, or they've disappeared. Can the minister take my challenge and meet me there on Thursday, where we can do that cry walk? Once he can do that, it will prove that he's doing something. Tim, I feel for the people on the West Coast. I feel for the people of Cul-de-sac. You've got a care school. You've got Berkay. You've got 2 supermarkets. You've got a nursery. You've got a restaurant and other businesses in those areas. Is it because no ministers do not pass on that road? Or are they paying, or the people of Cul-de-sac and the West Coast people are paying a price they do not know of? Thank you.
What time you want to meet Mr. King? So you never said the time. You said the day, but not the time.
Sorry. I would like to meet Mr. King at 8:30 sharp. 8:30.
In the morning?
In the morning. He'll stand on the Massey side. I will stand on the CPG side, and we will do a cry walk. Tim, thank you very much.
You expect that he will take you up on that challenge, sir?
Oh, yeah. Mr. King will probably take it up.
Okay.
Because Mr. King don't take it up, Mr. King will lose that election. I am telling you that. Remember, he needs to take it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Now, we talk a lot on this broadcast about those issues that are affecting the people of this country. But, just to piggyback on what the caller just said there, we have failed to focus on the dilapidated state of the nation's roads. And the toll it has taken emotionally on citizens and also financially. The damage has been done to most of the persons who are driving in St. Lucia, to their vehicles. This certainly has been very much of a headache for most road users in this country. And what have we heard from our leaders, including the infrastructure minister? Excuse after excuse. Endless excuses from the infrastructure minister and to a lesser extent from the prime minister of this country. Remember when they were attending some function in the United States, I think it was in New York, and they gave us one of the reasons, the fact that we were in the inclement weather. It was raining. So they blamed it on the rain. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Amanda, good afternoon to you. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, team. Good afternoon, news spinners. Someone says there is nothing such as a safe seat in politics. Another comment, the truth can only scare those who live the lie. Someone says they're Putin and all those who support him are terrorists, communists, and antagonists. Another comment, better question, what is Trump's agenda in this? Is this payback for the Russian bailing him from bankruptcy in the 1990s? Another comment reads, team, leave Trump alone, he's not troubling you. Someone replied to this saying he is indirectly, the cost of living will increase globally. Another comment reads, if only the world had more spiritual fruits than religious nuts, what a difference that would make. But we are more concerned about a debating political party than policies. Christians have let their guards down for way too long. That's why their words have no weight when it comes to political discourse. Politicians no longer respect churches or church leaders. Before, when a priest would walk in his community, he was well respected, not nowadays. Another comment reads, leadership walked out the door when SLP came into government. Someone says here SLP is a troop of baboons who have no idea what to do with the power conferred upon them by the people. So another comment reads, team, are you sure that we are still in a democracy? Well, if we want to be sure, let's ask people like Jan Gustav, Kakal, and the many others who have been victimized because they opened their mouths trying to speak out on matters of great concern to them. Another comment reads, caller, given the right scenarios, any district can flip. There's no safe seats in politics.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. We have some more coming up between now and when we conclude the broadcast. The WhatsApp message reads, Tim, the other worst aspect of the roads is that suddenly the roads are not marked. All the markings are faded away and no attention is paid to them. Some citizens drive in the middle of the road. You know how many accidents I missed by Slasper? Shock from the roundabout heading north is another disaster waiting to happen. And never in my 50 years from being able to understand that I have ever seen roads so deplorable in St. Lucia. A call. Good afternoon to you on the line. You are on the air. This is NewsSpin. Go ahead with your contribution, caller.
Yeah, my boy.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, that's your friend in the neighborhood, man. The one I always call, put some fire all around. Okay. Starting from the roads in St. Lucia. I don't think there'll be any end to this before the next election. Look at the gentleman talk about the short space of road in cul-de-sac. That is not being addressed. Okay? I myself, when I go down, use that road, I have to go at 0 miles an hour, but there are some morons that fly past like a rocket. You know? They're not concerned about the dust or the loose chips on the road that could mash up, break your windscreen. You understand? So, even when they have the roads that are drivable, when you drive down, they have holes that cause accidents. It has happened to me. I have to sometimes go literally off the road to let somebody come forward because they will get away from the road and hold your side. And I, being a defensive driver, allowing them to go. These roads, I mean, they have, I don't know why they're not prioritizing, especially the ones that could cause serious accidents. I see they're trying to do some potholing around the place. But that is just not even the icing on the cake. You understand? So the road self, I'm tired, but I'll not stop complaining, but I get frustrated. That tires everything is a problem. Right? We have the crime situation. The guy brought himself in. You understand? How long will that drag in the courts? Give me an idea, Tim. How long you think that'll drag? That's just a long thing. The lady said that she prayed that they bring that hanging, and hanging is on the books, right or wrong?
It is, yes.
So hanging is on the books, but because we're afraid to stand our ground, because we know, well, if this country is not supporting hanging, they're not going to give us help and aid and all this kind of stuff, human rights. So people continue killing people in impunity. They don't care. You understand? And everybody have a rage. Now, people mightn't believe in the Bible, but the Bible clearly said in the latter days we're living in there, love will wax cold. And you know when someone wax cold, how it is? That's freezing beyond freezing. So people already have a natural rage. Before you step on somebody, so they already pull a cutlass or gun to harm you. You understand what I'm saying? And now you have the government making it worse again, interfering with people's salary, sending that 2.5% levy. Then they're looking to raise that thing. I mean, like as if they're looking to cause some kind of a disaster here. People are getting frustrated. And as I said last time, if you see a simple thing like a pussycat, you play with it. But if you force it in the corner, claws will come out. And that's what they're doing. They're looking for problems. They keep on blaming one another for the issues. You understand? But they're not looking at the main fact. The pressure is applied too much on the poor person. And according to that gangster fella, poor people fed up because of the system. And that is what's happening. The people are fed up. You understand? They will want you to do twice as much work for half as much of a salary. You don't think that will be a disaster? Think about it. If you have to do twice as much work for half as much salary, how are you going to be able to handle this thing? How are you going to handle this thing? That is problems that they're looking for, right? Now, on the other hand of the political incumbent, the opposition, they are in a situation there, they want to come into power, right? It's not like you want to invent the wheel. You understood what caused John Compton, Marlette, the guys, Lansico, to maintain. It wasn't just them, The main fragment was as I keep on telling them, is the youth arm branch of the party that's supposed to be vibrant. They are your mouthpiece. They are your tentacles to go in house to house. Not the papi show house to house they're doing. I'm talking about practical house to house. You understand? When you have something like a spreadsheet, okay, look for instance for a show, right? I mean, we know each other for a show. I could go there and for a show, me, I'll not say my name, and out of the 70 houses are there, I can tell them 50 is SLP or 20 is UWP by simply doing what is known as a proper scan. You don't go to them politically. You go them in a neutral phase and you lay out situations and you lay out policies. And when they have situations that really need their help, you assist them. At the end of the day, them 70 houses, you will sway them to whatever political demise that you want. You don't go, I'm Flabo, I want you to vote Flabo, or I'm a SLP. You have to go there in a neutral, in a systematic way to know. And then when you pull out your spreadsheet, you don't hope and guess where the election will go. You will know where the election will go. And that's what these guys not understanding. They're wasting all the talk shows and all the things going on. Yes, it'll help. Yes, the little slogans and things will help. But to know exactly, to be confident, to be sure, that is how you go. You go with a plan to know what it is and what you deal with it, and then you sway them in a diplomatic way, but not go, hey, vote for Flobo. I want you to vote for Flobo. At the end of the day, they take all your money and they vote for the other party. I mean, they see every 5 years a different thing going on because they have not understood what the way that the other gentlemen long ago, the patriots, Compton, all them guys used to do. The fellas used to do the work of the country, but they had their youth arm going from house to house, from area to area, from constituency to constituency, so they know. They didn't have to guess who win. You see the surprise guy Joseph got. You see the surprise Gilly Government got. You see the other one down there got. You understand? Because they were not doing what the former people who before them used to do. And that is the problem there. They need to go back to the same drawing board that was putting them in the seat and not guessing, oh, election body, they counting votes. No, you could be somewhere cool in a bar having a coffee and some whiskey and you know already you win. Because they do what they're supposed to do to maintain the victory. And not going around jumping here and there, having a whole set of new people that people do not even know. You're supposed to have a core factor. I don't know why they're not doing that, but they have a new style, everybody going a new style, and they see it not working. If you keep on doing the same thing and getting the same result, that's a definition for madness, you know, if you expect a change. You have to do something different. And they swayed away from the original design and come to the modern design, and they're losing and winning by guess, losing by guess. You have to win to know you win. If you go and play, if you see the boxers, Muhammad Ali and all them guys, they watch the last fight and they see where the errors were and they fix it up. Even the what do you call them guys, the soccer guys, the fellas that do rugby, they watch the basketballers, they watch to see what where their weakness was and they strengthen it. They don't just go there and just play. And that's what it is.
Okay, caller. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for your contribution. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. It's on the NewsSpin Facebook page, as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel and Power 97.9 FM. We'll continue the conversation on whether we have safe or sure seats in St. Lucia, along with your calls. And of course, Amanda will be going through some of the comments in the chat room.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec is transforming how you move. With our new electric vehicle charging stations, getting a quick and reliable charge is easier than ever. From Rodney Bay to Dennery, Vieux-Fort and Soufriere, we've got you covered. Our cutting-edge network offers both fast and standard charging options. Convenient, efficient, and always ready when you are. Just download the Flash Charge app from Google Play or the Apple App Store, and with a few simple taps, you can set up an account and link it to a credit card. Find a station or scan the QR code to start charging in seconds. Lucilec is powering your journey and driving us toward a cleaner, greener future. Charge ahead with Lucilec's EV stations. Lucilec electric vehicle chargers, powering progress, energizing the future.
Taco Thursdays at Senior Snapper from Thursday, 13th February 2025 and every Thursday.
St. Lucia, your Thursdays just got a whole lot better. After work, there's only one place to be. Taco Thursdays at Senor Snapper Seafood Grill and Margarita Bar.
In Cruzley Town, that is Marie Therese Street.
Live DJ, fresh tacos, and island vibes. What more do you need? Tacos for just $10 plus 2-for-1 margaritas and mojitos to keep the good times flowing.
Thursdays is Taco Thursdays at Senior Snapper.
For it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
Are you tired of going from doctor to doctor, spending time and money, yet still not getting the answers you need? Now, at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring you the latest in medical technology, our state-of-the-art radiation-free full-body MRI. With unmatched accuracy, we can detect illnesses early, giving you the answers you deserve and the treatment you need, saving lives and saving money. No doctor referral needed. Results in just 24 to 48 hours. Plus, a free consultation with a doctor to explain all your results in detail. Don't wait. Take advantage of this special offer and book your full body MRI at our Cocoville, Rodney Bay, or Castries locations. Call 451-6559 now. La Clinique du Corps. Your health is our priority.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Boutte. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
You know that feeling when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC. A substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control. All so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
I've seen you here before, and I have something special just for you.
What have we here?
Happy housewarming to me? That's the MNC Home Depot Rewards Card. You'll earn points every time you shop, plus exclusive savings and promotions just for you.
Just for me?
Yes, just for you. Shop in store or online and enjoy a seamless experience.
So I get to treat myself every time I shop?
Exactly. It's time to reward yourself.
MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt Rewards Card. Sign up and reward yourself today at www.mnchomedepot.com.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. WhatsApp message. Can you ask Wasco to send water to Grand Riviere? It's been 10 days now. We are on life support. Water isn't life in Grand Riviere. We are all dead. So Wasco, please take note. Try to take care of those people over in Grand Riviere. They have been without water over the last 10 days, close to 2 weeks. And I'm sure there are people without water as well for a lot longer. Both the United Workers' Party and the St. Lucia Labour Party, whichever party wins the next general election, certainly should make Wasco a priority. Let me see if I have another WhatsApp message to go through. Let's see there. Somebody says via WhatsApp, Tim, yesterday you had a caller who focused on one of the CIP contracts, but we were forced to take her word for it. It is about time that we pass the Freedom of Information Act that will allow us to get the details of all these government contracts that we question year after year. With all the bills that come to Parliament, when will one be FOIA, a Freedom of Information Act? Let's talk about shore seats. The political leader of the SLP and Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Mr. Philip J. Pierre, has been saying quite often over the last few days and predicting that the SLP will win all of the island's 17 constituencies. We just have to wait and see. But I believe that a government has been in office for close to 4 years now, and it has been grappling with one challenge after another in a number of areas, particularly crime and also the high cost of living, the deplorable state of the roads in St. Lucia. On that basis alone, I do not believe that it will win, or it should win, all of the island's electoral seats. I am not in a position to say who will win or who should win the next general election. But what I can say is that on the basis of the performance of the government, it has not earned the right to win all of the island's 17 seats. More than that, the fact that you get the impression that the government has allowed its massive victory at the polls to get to its head in terms of the behavior of some of the government ministers, in terms of the threat that's being posed to the democratic process, because of the chilling effect that is very often palpable in terms of the modus operandi of some politicians in St. Lucia. You cannot transform the island overnight into a one-party state, where one party has won all of the island's 17 seats. Because of the lack of maturity, because of the abuse of power, because of if I have might, then I have the right to do as I please. Because give any of those political parties victory by such a margin, winning all 17 seats, that certainly will spell a lot of trouble for us. And in terms of the democratic process and ensuring that we have a government that will be made to account for its stewardship, that could be challenged. Because already, none of the institutions that have been set up, such as your NGOs, they do not feel compelled. Maybe they don't feel empowered, or they feel that they owe a debt of gratitude to this administration, and therefore they will not come forward at all and challenge the government on anything. So you cannot give a government, any government at all, that kind of majority, because we will suffer. We will pay a heavy price for that. And so let's hear from the political leader of the SLP. Let's take you back to August of 2024, speaking at the Dennery North Constituency AGM, when he said that there's no such thing as a shore seat. That is the same individual who of late has been saying that the St. Lucia Labour Party will win all 17 seats.
So no seat has been won, no seat. La bonne pièce short seat ici. Bon Dieu pas mort et qui des pièces seat like person. Every man has to hustle for the seat. So no seat has been won, no seat. La bonne pièce choisie ici. Bon Dieu pas mort et qui des pièces like personne. Every man has to hustle for his seat.
Speaking Creole, he says, God did not die and leave any seat for anyone. There's no thing as a sure seat. So everyone, every politician, basically, they have to fight to capture one of the island's 17 electoral seats. So bear with me while we go through the various constituencies and the margin of victory. So in Grosile, Kenson Casimir won by 2,053 votes. That's in the last election. Virginia Albert won Babonneau by 110 votes. The other constituency, Castries North, Stevenson King won by 2,113 votes. That's a significant margin. Over in Castries East, Philip J. Pierre, the five-star general, won by 1,877 votes. Over in Castries Central, Richard Frederick won by 605 votes. We go on to Castries South. Dr. Ernest Hilaire won by 1,429 votes. Over in Ancillary Canaries, Wayne Girard won by 165 votes. In Soufrière, Emma Hippolyte won by 65 votes. Over in Choiseul Saltibus, John Bradley Felix won by 385 votes. In Labrie, Alva Baptiste won by 1,023 votes. And Vieux-Fort South, Dr. Kenny Anthony won by 1,563 votes. Vieux-Fort North, Moses Jean-Baptiste won by 634 votes. Micoud South, Alain Chastain won by 646 votes. In Micoud North, Jeremiah Norbert won the seat by 552 votes, defeating Dr. Gail Rigobert. We on to Dennery South. Paul Prosper won by 184 votes. Dennery North, Sean Edward won by 281 votes. And finally, Castries South East, Joachim Henry won by 437 votes. Let's continue with your calls. We have a caller via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
How are you? How is everything?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm there. Amanda, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, caller.
Tim, I just listened to you reading the results of the last election.
Mm-hmm.
But I think to myself, people saying about the election wasn't fair and whatever. But when I check it out, I think there was a lot of voter dumping. You know what that is, Tim?
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of voter dumping the last election. Because look at the margins you're calling out there, and look at the other history of the other elections. I might be wrong because I'm not no political scientist, but I have a strong, strong feeling that there was a lot of voter dumping. This has happened before. This is nothing new in St. Lucia. I'm sure you know that.
Well, I've heard this before,
don't you?
But I don't have the evidence to prove it, caller.
Remember once some time ago, people were saying, I used to live in Derry for a while, and people from Derry, when I was talking to them, they were saying that they would take, because Vieux-Fort North is always a very strong, always has been Labour, right?
Yes.
So they would take people from Vieux-Fort North and dump into Micoud South, which is right across, they would dump these people into Micoud South to bring up their margin. Now, these things are possible, you understand? I'm not saying, so I'm not accusing one party of doing it. Both of them do it. I'm sure both of them do it. So this is a problem because when you look at it, this doesn't really reflect the real, how will I say it, of the real feeling on the ground, the real feeling of the people in the constituency. Because look, I heard Bradley said yesterday about a lady that was supposed to be voting, came to bring her card. When she looked, she was registered in
Castries South.
Latok or somewhere like that. You see, yes. That's what I'm saying. And this happens because my friend, she's deceased now, God bless her soul. She told me the last election, some guy came to her and said he was working for such and such a politician. And then he was collecting ID cards for the whatever. And she's elder, and a couple of the elders in the area gave that guy her ID card, their ID card. And then when the politician that he said he was collecting, when that politician came around, she mentioned to the politician, well, you know, I gave such and such. The politician said, no, I never sent anybody. And they had to go to the guy, and there was a whole set of thing, get back their ID cards, and it was a whole thing. He was actually on the person he said he was collecting the ID cards for, he was collecting for the opponent.
Right.
So these are the things I'm telling you. In the electoral office is a big problem too, because people just come and register and they say, well, I'm not saying if you leave a place before and your ID card has that address on it, team, and then it's a hassle to go and change ID card. An election come up, you can vote on your old address. But there are people who actually, they just dump the vote. People from Monrepo, you heard they voting in Castries Central, they voting in Castries South, and these people don't live in the neighborhood. So this is a problem. How this is going to be solved, team?
Well, the politicians have to be on the alert, likewise the Electoral Commission and the Electoral Department as well.
Yes, they should be investigating more. And another thing again, team, that thing I'm hearing that the people who own CIP passports will be able to vote if they stay here for how many months?
If you stay here for close to 2 months, at least 7 weeks, I think.
So they can vote.
You can, yes.
If this really happens, you see the next election, this thing is going to really affect the outcome of the election. You see this thing, and there's, it's very, how can I say, ticklish. This thing of people with CIP passports come here to vote. Yeah, there's going to be a problem. But
because at the end of the day, whether they got, irrespective of how they got their citizenship, whether through buying the passports or buying through real estate and their investments and so on, they are St. Lucians. And if the law, the Electoral Act says, if you're living in St. Lucia for at least, I think, 7 weeks, then you can vote.
Okay, now hear that, team. Listen to that. This is a big joke. And we have politicians talking about foreigners can come in, foreigners can represent us, and foreigners, and this batch whole, how many, I'm not too sure, I cannot say how many thousands of passports that has been sold. If most of these people come out here to vote, and they're foreigners, that they will vote for you. And then I hate this thing about these politicians and that foreigner thing and white man thing. This is disgusting. We need to stop that. It has nothing to do with that. As long as the person can bring St. Lucia forward and do stuff to make our lives better in St. Lucia, not to make it harder.
We are citizens of the world.
Yes, I just hate when I hear politicians have that thing about foreigners and this one foreign and this one white. All of us, we are one Jaja children. That's who we are. No matter if we have more money than the other and we have more prestige and we all are one team.
Those politicians, they are playing on the ignorance of certain people in the country. They are playing on the ignorance as well.
You know what they call divide and rule? You never heard of Willie Lynch?
Yes.
You never read?
Yes.
Right. This is what the politicians have us as well. Not me, because you see me, I get to the point where it's just, I don't know what to say. With the level of politics in St. Lucia, in the gutters team, it has me frustrated, fed up. Serious, it really has me. I've never seen St. Lucia politics go so low down in the gutter team. Well, and I'm just praying.
There's a lot at stake, caller, that's why.
Oh my God.
There is a lot at stake. There's a lot at stake.
A lot at stake for the politicians. A lot at stake for the politicians. Not for us, huh? Not for us. And not me, team. You see, I'm telling you, St. Lucia, you're all in for a rude awakening. Buck up, open your eyes. Okay, team, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. Listen now, attention to Amanda and what's happening in the chat room.
Tim, give me a minute. Okay, there we go. Somebody says here, maybe he knows something that we don't, Tim. Another comment, St. Lucians won't be voting UWP back into power, not under the leadership of Chasney. You all know that Chas cannot be the leader anymore. Another comment, the constituencies with the less development has the biggest margin. Another comment reads, how much money was paid to the board investigating the HIA project with no outcome? They stopped the project and now the cost of building materials has almost tripled. A few comments from earlier. Someone says, Tim, if she doesn't win, it's because these people of Labrie are brainless sheep who continuously allow Alva to fool them. Another comment, we just have to be strategic in our approach to Labrie. Spend more time in those areas, get to know the people, spread our message of progress, and show the people how we will attain our goals. Anything can be done. Another comment reads, while the collective may have a national unified message from our party, we need to focus our message on what those districts need respectively. Another comment reads, there's some sort of progress, no lie about it, but I'm wondering, will they ever mark the newly paved road on the west coast? Someone says there, but caller, stop being foolish and political. Can't you see that there are road works going on? You are a UWP and will never vote for King. Man, to get comfortable, you have to tolerate some discomfort. Do you think a road in a cabinet that a carpenter can build in his workshop and upon completion, he can place it where it is supposed to be? Someone replied to this saying, do you want to put your explanation, excuse and reprimand into English? Amazing how you will twist yourself to find excuses for poor performance. What is happening now hasn't put the country on a path to development. Maybe you like handouts, some believe in real, true development. Stop settling for scraps.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Let's take another call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Yes, Tim. I wanted to a special prosecutor was hired to 4 years ago, right? Approximately 4 years ago, right? That was on to investigate wrongdoings by the previous administration led by Alan Shasta, right?
Not about 4 years ago. Maybe about 2 years now.
Well, 2 years now.
Yeah.
And you know, Tim, remember before that election, there was a particular talk show host that used to have thousands of files on government wrongdoings. Projects in the north was stopped. The Groseley Highway was stopped. The Shock redevelopment project was stopped, but it recommenced because there was no wrongdoing there. So my thing is, Tim, there was a whole campaign every week. It was PJP and the guys was holding press conferences based on what is happening at View Forts and on whatnot. And today, I'm listening, I was hearing SLP supporters asking Yadi they should fire the special prosecutor because they're not getting no wrongdoings on the previous government in any projects or in anything that they did. 2 years now, no UWP members has been arrested. So my thing is that those guys run a campaign based on half-truth, lies, propaganda, and the entire nation today has collapsed under the weight of those guys and the wrongdoing. Those guys that make up the 15 seats under the SLP, the cabinet members, Richard Frederick and Stevenson King, they're all intellectually bankrupt because we can see just watching any aspect of our society, any part of the economy, every aspect has collapsed. Where is the youth economy? Where is the hospital? First year in office is just a little bleach and a little Clorox, and then the hospital will be open. No hospitals, no roads. What those guys campaign on for the past 3 years? What capital projects can you point on and say, well, yes, this government has won the people demanded. They have 15 seats. They only 2 members of the United Workers' Party there. They're doing a magnificent job. Every aspect of society has collapsed. We have no society again, Tim. We have no love in our communities anymore. People, like the man said, people are angry. Everybody's angry because those guys brought in a dark cloud over our country based on lies, based on propaganda, based on half-truths. There's a special prosecutor there for 2 years. He haven't arrested anybody. They're splitting division. So my thing is, and it will always be, that they do it on themselves to call an early election because they knew what they did was wrong and they have to face justice. for the injustice, because billions of dollars is missing for true, because there was a RICO case in America. So that is facts. There's no lies about it. If the special prosecutor wants, he can go and help Chasney in the quest to find in the paper trail where is that money, because they said it's somewhere in China. You understand? So I believe that the entire cabinet should resign. Calling this, which is External Affairs Minister, to the Home Affairs Ministers, to the Housing Minister, to the Minister of Infrastructure, to the Minister for Youth Economy, all should resign. They have failed. It is a catastrophe. We have never seen it so bad. The airports are bad. The roads is bad. Tourists and vloggers, I'm listening on Facebook. People are saying, do not even drive. They rather take a boat. The tourists telling people take a boat instead of driving the roads because the roads are that bad. So there's no hope anymore, Tim. Everything have to crash right now. The entire country has crashed. We're in a state of anarchy, like it or not. The police do not control the streets. The government has collapsed. Everything has collapsed. They should resign. Thank you.
All right. And thank you so much for calling, sir. Now, we've been talking about whether we have short seats in St. Lucia. Some comments, one particular comment got my attention, and it's on the YouTube channel. Person says, there is a short seat. It's at the Shock Cemetery. Yes, there's a short seat. It's at the Shock Cemetery. So look, people have been saying that apparently moves are afoot to transfer a particular police officer. Made a few calls. I don't know if it is true. Could not confirm anything. But you know that there's a possibility that so many things can happen in St. Lucia, and that is to our surprise. So who knows? That individual, I'm told, is Kakal, well-known St. Lucian Calypsonian. But let me stress, I've not heard of any talk of any plans to transfer Kakal. Let's listen to him, his performance, part of his performance on Sunday at the convention of the opposition, UWP.
My good buddy Jack left the constabulary, gone to UE to obtain a PhD. Papers in hand and determination. Yes, Jack returned to his motherland. For the things Jack see he could not believe. For the country he start to grieve. Dial my number and suddenly these are the questions Jack asking me. Jackass, why every time a minister falls sick, they on plane flying to Martinique, while we are left down here for Lazarus or Creek? Why a poor man thief for bread and run? The court call for execution, while politicians free thieving plenty millions. Jackass, why you tie the hands of police? You say now when the dogs that were trained to sniff, you will replace it with no experts in ballistics. Let's go. Jackass, why? Jackass, why? Jackass, why? The whole of them read, they want to know. Tell them why. Tell them why. Jackass.
Still come of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and the discussion right here on the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin.
NewsSpin is transforming how you move. With our new electric vehicle charging stations, getting a quick and reliable charge is easier than ever. From Rodney Bay to Dennery, Vieux-Fort and Soufriere, we've got you covered. Our cutting-edge network offers both fast and standard charging options. Convenient, efficient, and always ready when you are. Just download the Flash Charge app from Google Play or the Apple App Store, and with a few simple taps, you can set up an account and link it to a credit card. Find a station or scan the QR code to start charging in seconds. Lucilac is powering your journey and driving us toward a cleaner, greener future. Charge ahead with Lucilac's EV stations. Lucilac electric vehicle chargers, powering progress, energizing the future.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
Craving some irresistible KFC chicken? KFC Wow Box has got you covered. For only $22, you get 1 piece of juicy chicken, 1 delicious sandwich, and a side of crispy regular fries. This offer is available at all KFC stores island-wide, and now with both dine-in and delivery options available, you can enjoy your meal however you want. Come into the store and enjoy the KFC experience or have it delivered to your doorstep. Don't wait. Order now through WhatsApp at 484-0400 or visit our website, kfcstlucia.com. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Get your KFC Wow Box today, whether it's dine-in or delivery.
Are you tired of going from doctor to doctor, spending time and money, yet still not getting the answers you need? Now, at La Clinique du Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring you the latest in medical technology, our state-of-the-art radiation-free full-body MRI. With unmatched accuracy, we can detect illnesses early, giving you the answers you deserve and the treatment you need, saving lives and saving money. No doctor referral needed. Results in just 24 to 48 hours. Plus, a free consultation with a doctor to explain all your results in detail. Don't wait. Take advantage of this special offer and book your full-body MRI at our Cocoville, Rodney Bay, or Castries locations. Call 451-6559 now. La Clinique du Corps. Your health is our priority.
Watch this view here. If you missed it, yeah, itchy nose.
The St. Lucia National Cricket Association Prime Minister's Cup is back. It's going down at 4 venues: PI, Philip Masler Grounds, Groseley, and Mindu Philip Park. Games will be played both day and night. Will the champions Groseley defend their title, or will we see a newly crowned champion this year? Teams taking part: last year's champion Groseley, runners-up Central Castries, South Castries, Babano, Monrepo, Mikud, Soufre, Viewfort North, Viewfort South, Denry, Choiseul, Babia Valley, and Deriso. This tournament bolts off on February 18th with defending champions Groseley coming up against Babano at 7 p.m. on the Groseley playing field. Games will be played from 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. Come out and support your favorite team. It's the St. Lucia National Cricket Association Prime Minister's Cup coming to a venue near you. Who's gonna emerge champions this year?
It's the Tile Thursday specials. The sale you've been waiting for is finally here, happening this Thursday at the Tile Gallery. Whether you're renovating your kitchen, bathroom, or updating your entire home, don't miss out on the chance to save big on high-quality tiles that will elevate any space. Mark your calendars for Tile Thursday specials, the last Thursday of every month. You can save up to 50% off on selected tiles. Located at M&C Home Depot in Sunville. Hurry in! These amazing deals are in-store only, and supplies are limited, so be sure to grab yours while you can. Remember, Tile Thursday only happens once a month, so don't miss out. Visit the Tile Gallery this Thursday. See in-store for details.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and it is called NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. We also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. We have a call line via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon, Rick.
You know, it's so interesting listening to
the dialogue, the narratives before every election, you know. By the way, Tim, what was the percentage of people who voters, registered voters, that actually showed up at the
voter
booth?
turnout would have been just 50, something like 52 or thereabout.
52% of the registered voters turned out.
Yeah, the voter turnout. It was quite low. It wasn't high. But it's in the 50s.
Say that again?
It's in the 50s.
It's in the 50s.
Yeah.
Now, what does that tell you, Tim?
That if we...
That means roughly half of the voting registered voters were not interested enough to come out and vote. They were not motivated to come out to vote.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, whatever happened.
Yeah.
More or less.
Basically, that's it.
And let me give...
That's basically what it is. And this has been the trend in St. Lucia for a while in terms of the low voter turnout.
But is that probably one of the lowest?
It's one of the lowest.
Okay, good. Now, Tim, after every election, here's what we hear: that the winning side won because of Haitian voodoo, bolums,
yeah,
midnight visits to the cemetery, special baths, human sacrifices, dead voters, voter dumping. Now, Tim, a modern country in this day and age talks that kind of crap and associates it with the voters of the country. What does that tell you about the people of the country? Voters are not voters. When the people of the country will continue to give you those insane reasons why their party lost or won. Now, voter purchasing, we know that's a fact now. It's open, Tim. People don't even joke about that.
And it's illegal. And it's illegal.
Well, most things that happen here right now are illegal now, Tim, including some of the things that go on in Parliament. Okay. Voter apathy, it gets worse and worse. That accounts for the 52%. But you know, we don't hear among the reasons that a party lost. You don't hear that the campaigning was lousy. If 52% of the voting population, registered voters, came out, how many of those people you think were actually involved in serious campaigning?
Not many.
Exactly.
Not many at all. Not many at all. Because
a handful of people.
Yeah, and they don't pay attention to, for example, even the manifesto. There's been a lot of talk about the manifesto being launched very late, just before a general election. It really, whether it's a week or 2 weeks before and so on, it really does not matter. Because a lot of people in St. Lucia vote based on their emotions, how they feel about a particular candidate, or if they were misled about a particular candidate. Meaning, if you have allegations being made about a particular individual, and it comes across as being credible, invariably voters do not check to see whether they can give credence to those allegations. They just go out on a whim and they believe what is said about that particular individual.
I am more of a believer in things I see as opposed to faith and conjecture. If 52% of the voting population is all that came out, we agree, then the number of people and we agree that's serious voter apathy. How many of those people you think would actually put themselves out to do the kind of campaigning? I want to tell you just on what you just said there. I may not remember the years, but I remember in 79, was it in 79 Luigi came on?
79, yes.
79. Tim, the amount of work, I was close to that campaign, the amount of work that went into that, including that George Josie and Tom Walcott, those guys campaigned almost from the day after the government won, the Compton government won. George Josie and Walcott campaigned for almost all of those 5 years. All kind of excitement was going on the country, etc., etc. then the next one I remember that was quite a exciting campaign was Awoosh, Awoosh. And I think it's just that slogan and the energy that Christopher Hunt put behind that moved Labour Party people out of their holes and got them out strictly on the basis of the excitement of Awoosh, Awoosh, let's get together. That's what it meant to me.
I think that would have been the 2011 general election.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there was the Kenny Anthony.
The Yope would have been about 2016. You remember when Stevenson came out with Yope? Yeah.
But I'm talking about exciting things that move people, things designed to kill the apathy and motivate people. That campaign in 1997, of all the campaigns I've seen and been very close to, that one was extraordinary. And that's where the phrase came off. I wrote about it, the Sea of Red.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Beaufort, Tim, and thousands of people there who could not possibly be just Labour Party supporters. And the result proved it. And they were all in red, Tim. I remember saying to Kenny Anthony on stage, take a look at that. After this, you won't be the same guy. I'm not going to say a better guy or a worse guy, but you will never be the same after having tasted that. Can you imagine 99.9, it seemed, of the voters of the country turning out for a public meeting and shouting your name like you were God? Can you imagine that?
Like the Messiah, like a savior.
That was it, and that's why I think Kenny has been such a major disappointment to the country, because he had it in him to deliver and did not deliver. And right now, again, he just did an interview and I was waiting to hear some serious talking. Kenny was talking about bananas. Bananas, Tim, in this day and age.
Well, I mean,
bananas?
If you asked about bananas, you'll respond in like manner about bananas.
Well, I'm saying that too, but I suspect, and I don't know that for a fact, but I suspect Kenny came out of the woodwork to do an interview that there were certain conditions, because if Kenny really wanted to say something to St. Lucians, he would either have a press conference or have an interview with somebody who was going to ask him serious questions with all respect. I would give him all the respect. I personally would volunteer to interview Kenny Anthony. St. Lucia needs to hear from Kenny Anthony, and not just his status. There are things only Kenny Anthony can explain. That crime situation, which he hardly touched in the interview. You remember the time of Give the People a Break for Christmas?
Yes.
That showed you how overwhelming crime already was in Beaufort. What did Kenny Anthony do as a prime minister and a representative in view of that situation where you're on your knees now asking the people to give a break for Christmas? It means you had lost faith in your police. It means you had lost faith in the standard of citizens.
Yeah, lost control, period.
Lost control so soon, and so much was expected. And that interview, it was depressing. It was quite depressing. Kenny Anthony didn't touch on one important subject. Any of the things you would, for example, he was supposed to come back to office, the cabinet, 6 months after the election, because he had to do certain things he had to do and help. Right?
Some medical issues, yes. That was the reason given.
That was the reason. 4 years later, he keeps his distance. He makes statements. The criticisms, if you listen to them well, of his party, of the government in office, are very interesting criticisms. So he has a lot of answers to give St. Lucia before he goes to wherever he goes, and and not doing it doesn't. It's not like you expect of Kenny Anthony, a patriot, a guy who cares about his legacy, and so on and so on. So again, Tim, but his campaign, everybody came out. If ever there was hope for a country, it was, and if ever there was going to be a turning around, it happened. The aspirations, the expectations were in 1997, you know, Tim. No, people have not sat because you have nobody analyzing anything at all, or just bullshit you on the radio. But a group of us should get together and treat St. Lucians, because many St. Lucians were too young, and we know they don't read anyway, even though it's etc. But the Kenny Anthony phenomenon really ought to be a subject of serious discussion, because we can learn a lot from that, you know, Tim. And if only Kenny had the gonads to do it. I don't think it's so wrong. Compton did it to say, look, I was wrong in this. I misjudged this. Compton said to me on the show, when I asked him if he had what he regretted in all his time, what he regretted, 40-something years. One of them was, I did not do enough for the young people of the country. Remember that?
Yes, I remember. And
I asked him, well, why not? And his answer was, you out there, no leader is coming in there to screw up the country. I'm paraphrasing. You're out there, you're full of aspirations and whatever. You think you know what the problems are. And then you get into office and you realize the problem. Huh?
And you're overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. And among them was feeding the country. That the people had to be trained to get jobs that they can get money from to feed their kids. And that became his priority. And I guess he died pursuing that thing. And so on and so on. In short, if we don't take our country seriously, if we don't take seriously the chances to make changes, positive changes, and if we are like prostitutes, and that's what would come to the news when I asked him a certain question. He said, that's what we are, prostitutes. I asked him who is going to choose if he comes into office, Beijing or Taipei. And he famously said, the one that gives us the most. And I said, well, there's a name for that. He said, you're talking about prostitutes, but that's what we are. He said so. It's on record, Jim. It's on record. So effectively, we have turned our country into a brothel. We are prostitutes. We are the tricks and the whatevers. That's what we are. And we have to face up to the fact that we are 99% responsible for all the horrors that is now overwhelming this once beautiful, peaceful, nice place to relax, nice place to work place. We have done this to our own country. We the people. I'm not the politicians are just the nasty tools, Tim. We didn't care what tools we put in there. We polluted the air. We polluted the water with stinko politicians. So we are to blame even more than the politicians. And sometimes, regardless of how awful those politicians have been, we hold our noses, eat our vomit, and re-elect them for $10. So, God Almighty, where are we going? Still talking about the Haitian bombs and whatever, and dumping and whatever. We are the cause. Lousy campaigning, no standards, insulting people's intelligence. Why would young people, both parties, youth arms, I would like to see how many people are in both parties' youth arms, and if they campaign, why they campaign. Because we are not giving young people any real reason to be happy they were born in St. Lucia, where there's opportunity for them, and whatever there is, it depends on them going for it. When you tell young people, go for it, you're young, go for what? Similar step, go for what? So a politician said to me the other day, St. Lucia is okay because you can start low. All you have to do is start low. For example, sell icicles. A politician said that to me, Tim. That, you send your daughter to school, everything else. All she has to do when she comes out is start low. Start selling icicles, package little this and that, and come and sell it, so and so. Those are not the aspirations of parents when they spend and borrow money to send their kids to get a decent education so that they can have a fair chance at
But even if that's your aspiration in 2025, believe you me, that's not the aspiration of our youngsters right now. Okay?
So my point to you
they will not subjugate themselves to that extent. I mean, they will not humble themselves to their mothers and fathers to that extent where they want to go out there and engage in menial tasks, because
but
they're a lot brighter than that.
I'll tell you what, though, sadly, with no other choice, a lot of them are selling themselves at election time.
Yeah.
Selling their, forgetting their dignity to survive. Young men and young women. That is what we have done to the country. That's why I get so pissed off about people who are over 60 and over 50 who just sit there and blame the young, when in fact they did that to the young by shutting their faces, by getting fat on inertia, etc. And they want to blame the state of the country by the kids who are committing murders and shooting. We created those kids. The first thing we have to do is accept that and then try to do something about it, like investigate what reports say. And don't just all this nonsense about politicians threatening to sue you if you expose their bad work and so on. We, people 50, 60, 70, can still do something about that. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Rick. One comment in the chat room, somebody says that was the time when we were ready to die for Kenny. He was our St. Lucian God. I'm wondering if we St. Lucians will ever feel that way for another emerging young leader. For me, once bitten, twice shy. Let's see if you have some final comments in the chat room. You could go through, Amanda, before we conclude the broadcast.
Tim, someone says there, St. Lucia needs to know that the special prosecutor can only act when he has a case file or a significant amount of evidence in his possession. Another comment, Tim, there are two short seats, Library and VA4. They have never changed. If they ever change to UWP, we know St. Lucians have woken up from sleeping. Another comment, there are many civil servants who want to speak against the action of these ministers, but they are afraid of being victimized. Another commentary from Laura Japierre, she says, the rumored transfer of Kakal for performing on a UWP stage highlights the disturbing trend of political victimization in St. Lucia, where civil rights and free expression are under threat. This mirrors Desiderata's call for authenticity, peace, and the right to live freely without fear or retribution. True democracy should encourage unity, not punish individuals for their beliefs or artistic expression. Leadership must foster fairness, not division, ensuring that all citizens, regardless of political affiliation, can speak, create, and thrive without intimidation. Another comment, the UWP campaign is a campaign of mépris and desperation because they know that they can't truly challenge the progress of Philippe Japierre, the positive state of our economy, the lowest unemployment rate in decades, over $80 million injected in our economy before independence. All your propaganda can't stop the Labour Party. Another comment reads, Flubbers are forgetting only a few years ago they were in office and stopped the 4-lane Groseley Highway and contracted incompetent folks to build our roads and did a lot of pappy show. Another comment here reads, yes, always embrace the youth in everything that you do. They are the future. Another comment reads, 7 weeks, this is ridiculous. That is just like going on vacation in some other country for a few weeks. Someone says here, Trump is not seeing it. Trump ain't seeing it, so trust me, he ain't seeing blacks and Latinos as U.S. citizens. Someone replied to this saying, not if they have $5 million. And the commentary in the chat room reads, Tim, these people didn't buy passports to come here to vote. They have St. Lucian passports, but they are not St. Lucians. They should keep away. What have they contributed to the country? Some don't even know St. Lucia. That's it.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for this, the final report regarding comments in the chat room. Our NewsSpin News of the Day. The NewsSpin News of the Day reads, Australian whose blood saved 2.4 million babies dies. Australian whose blood saved 2.4 million babies dies. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.